Well, news just coming in. We are now learning that there is a massive crackdown that is taking place on the Oreva Group's offices in the Morbi bridge collapse tragedy. Republic TV has learned that the Oreva offices are being raided even as we speak, and cops are investigating more. Do remember that there was an FIR that's been filed in this particular case, and 9 employees of the Oreva Group and others were arrested in this particular case. But the big question that everybody's been asking is what about the top management of the Oreva Group? And of course, there are demands being raised that they should be held accountable for this absolutely man-made tragedy that led to the loss of lives of 135 people in Oreva. Now, this is the latest that we are getting on this, that the Oreva Group's offices in Morbi are being raided even as we speak. This is, of course, being seen as a huge crackdown from the police on the Oreva Group. Tanisha is joining us live from Ahmedabad. She has more details on this. Tanisha, good morning. Take us through the latest information that you are now getting. We are given to understand that a crackdown has now begun on the top management of the Oreva Group.
Nupur, it is all a Republic impact. Soon after, it was Republic's investigation that led to how many lapses this company, this private company who took the ownership of securing and maintaining the bridge, which led to the tragic incident where 132 people were killed. Soon after, Republic investigated that there were so many lapses and the state knew about it. Now, the recent information that we're getting is that the Oreva office, which is in Morbi, has been raided. More information is coming in, and this is the latest that we're getting, that so Oreva has 2 offices. One is in Ahmedabad. The Ahmedabad office is where we are rushing to right now. That is clear. But Morbi, the office in Morbi where actually the incident happened, has been raided. And the cops are trying to take out information and also our hunt of employees. Remember, 9 people have already been arrested, but still the CEO, the top directors have not been named in the FIR. And remember, it is the same company that put at risk life of 500 people, where they did not take care of the security, of the maintenance, and release the bridge soon after it was only painted. Whereas, remember, it was supposed to be released after maintaining the bridge. So no work was done. Aluminium was put in place of steel for the maintenance of the bridge, and all of this, remember, a clock company was doing it. So Oreva is basically a clock and watches manufacturer company. It has never taken up a project of maintaining or securing bridges or such a big project earlier in the past, and this was the first project that they've got. And see the result. The result is ultimately that 132 people have died. And after all of this, it's become such a big incident because so many people have lost their lives, and because of sheer negligence, callousness by this private company and also the state. And now the recent information that we're getting on the same is that cops, the policemen, have now raided the company which led to this man-made disaster. Nipur.
Absolutely. Tanisha, of course, is bringing us the leads from Ahmedabad, but we are now learning that the raids are being conducted in Morbi. Now, Tanisha, for the benefit of our viewers, take us through the inconsistencies that have been there in what the Oreva Group has said so far. Now, earlier on, of course, we were hearing that this was a 5-year contract, 15-year contract, I beg your pardon, that was signed between the Gujarat state and the Oreva Group. But thereafter, we learned that there were only temporary repairs that were done. They were still waiting for a final payment to come through. So in that sense, there were large-scale lapses that were allowed to be there despite knowing that the Oreva Group was reopening the bridge to public.
Right, Nupur. Now it is not just the private company that was responsible, but we got to learn yesterday with 2 things. Number 1 is the sting that we did on the chief officer of the municipality, Morbi municipality, and we get to know that the private company and state were in tandem when it come to knowing about the lapses. Now there were so many lapses that had come forward. Number one is obviously that in the agreement it was clearly written that it had to, once the contract is given, 8 to 12 months of maintenance was needed in that bridge, because this bridge was constructed during the British era. Now the bridge, instead of 8 to 12 months, it was released in just 5 months. When we stinged the chief officer of municipality corporation in Morbi, he clearly stated that he knew that the bridge was functioning and was opening and was not in proper condition, but because there were holidays going on, so they could not do anything about it. So this is the clear lapse which shows that the state knew but didn't act. About the private company, they were always at fault because there were so many lapses that they had that had come through. When we reached at the spot, when our team reached at the spot, exact spot of the incident, we found out that there were bridges. The bridge was totally rusted. The wires were not in good condition, and not just that, the bridge was open for public use only after it was freshly painted. So clearly this showed that the bridge was not maintained and not secure, and it was just open for the greed. And this greed led to the tragedy which killed about 132 people. Nupur.
All right, Tanisha, bringing us the latest on the Morbi bridge collapse. We are now learning that the police are holding raids at the Oreva Group's office in Morbi. Tanisha, thank you very much for joining us.